Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now February 7th of 2022, and not only are we getting very close to the final chapter of the Book of Boba Fett, but we're also getting very much near the release of the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series, which is all set and ready to be released by this May, with the marketing run beginning by mid to late March. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, I am on Twitter at Mike01 if you guys want to go ahead and give me a follow on there. I do post a couple of entertaining things from time to time and really make sure to interact with you guys further. So the thing about Star Wars right now and exactly what's happening between both Jon and Dave Filoni is that they are basically really trying to work things out when it comes to exactly what is the balance going to be like of mixing Star Wars Legends with the already existing Disney canon, and exactly how they can please both sides of the fandom. Now, one side, of course, favoring Star Wars Legends, and the other side favoring, of course, the Disney canon. We're talking about the books, the novels, the comics, all these different timelines that have not yet to have been explored in live-action form, and whether or not they're able to actually do this successfully is a big question open on the table for discussion. However, I do have faith in Jon and Dave in doing this in a balanced manner. So when we look at everything of what happened with the Book of Boba Fett Chapter 6, with the return of Luke, Grogu, and Din, as well as Ahsoka Tano, it kind of shows you that they kind of really did combine Legends with the already existing Disney canon and how they can really create an original story doing that. And here we're finally witnessing in live action form Luke Skywalker starting his Jedi Academy. And one thing that they did leave very, very mysterious is exactly which world are they on. Is it Devron? Is it something else? Who knows? But one thing is for certain is that they are paying attention to Legends. Now, on top of all of this, when it all dwindles down to Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy, alright? With the Book of Boba Fett Season 2 now in the talks between Disney and Lucasfilm, both creators Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are getting ready to end production for The Mandalorian Season 3 by this March. However, it's described that behind the scenes, Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy is said to still be working, of course, hard on the Acolyte TV show with Leslie Headland to get this released by 2023. Now, it's described, however, that in a recent interview that Kathleen Kennedy got involved in, she went on to reveal some new details about the Acolyte series that the fans are not going to take lightly. Kathleen Kennedy went on to state that, what we finally realized that what needs to be done with Star Wars is that we need to absolutely let go of the past in order to embrace a new canvas for Star Wars that we can write on. This is about forgetting everything that is familiar to the fandom for the Acolyte and really creating a fresh start to not only create new fans for the amazing brand, but to also no longer hold that burden to what the existing fans expect to see on the screen. That's the one word that I think bothers me, and I think it's going to bother a lot of fans, is the fact that she refers to the fans, like the old school Star Wars fans, as a burden. And we've heard her say something similar in a sense a couple of months ago, where she was saying of how they always expect to see everything happen in the Star Wars stories, and it really bothers the writers, and she actually talks about that a little bit more. I'll get into that in just a second. But the thing about Kathleen Kennedy is that it's still not a big surprise here. I mean, this is Kathleen Kennedy after all. It's very safe to say that she genuinely does not enjoy Star Wars. She views this as a business opportunity strictly, just to slap the Star Wars logo on top of whatever project that she works on. In this scenario, being the only one, the Acolyte TV show. Now, on top of this, alright, moving beyond everything of what she had to say here, she goes on to say that myself and Leslie made these choices to let go of George's vision so that we could have no limitations to what we can do with these stories. This story is going to kickstart an entire new series of Star Wars lore that we are very excited to use, and we are hoping that new and existing fans will respect and enjoy our work. When we look at Star Wars, we always look at the Force or the struggle between good and evil, such as Jedi and Sith. But it's about time that we take a different approach to Star Wars, but completely ridding of Lucas's philosophy. Like George, this is nothing against him at all, but we feel it's time to cut the string loose and treat the Acolyte as a new sci-fi epic adventure that will spawn a new generation of Star Wars fans that don't feel the need to be attached or stuck to everything that George created. Now, that's another thing that really does bother me, is that she's calling this the opportunity to just make it into a sci-fi epic adventure. And that pretty much is her admitting the fact that this is not going to be Star Wars in nature, in spirit, or at its heart. It's not going to be. It's going to be some very strange sci-fi take by both Kathleen Kennedy and Leslie Headland. Will it have lightsabers? Yes. But the nature of it all is going to feel very much disjointed. It's kind of like when you watch The Last Jedi. Did it feel like true Star Wars to you? The majority will say no. Some will say yes, and that's fine. People have their opinions. Everybody is entitled to that. And by the way, everybody is entitled to their opinion below in the comments. But one thing I will say, the Acolyte TV series, given that it does take place in the High Republic era, that's one thing that we cannot forget about. That is a particular era that a lot of fans do not enjoy. I myself took the time to read the books and the comics, and that really gave me a real honest perspective of what the High Republic is really all about. And I will admit, I'm not for it. I'm really not enjoying it. What I saw, however, with Star Wars Eclipse, the upcoming video game that they want to release in 2024, that was amazing. That's what the High Republic should be portrayed as, and it kind of gives you that Lord of the Rings-esque feel, which, by the way, is what they are aiming for other Star Wars movies. We'll talk about that a little bit later as well. But on top of this, alright, she goes on to say, I feel that hanging on to what George created is just a burden, not just for creators, but also for fans. But for creators, it puts this strain on them, you know? Feeling like they always owe the fans more each and every time with these new stories. It's not about the fans this time with the Acolyte. It's about creating fans now and doing something brand new where existing fans won't be expecting anything to pop up on screen. We are going to be telling the story of the fall of the High Republic era and how this will impact the Phantom Menace. Myself and Leslie are doing great things together to change how fans view the early days of the prequel trilogy films, starting with Episode 1. We hope that this show becomes successful to the point where we can explore it as a multi-season show, just to keep expanding and to just keep providing new stories to new fans. I will admit that George was not fond of this approach, and it really wasn't easy watching him disagree with our vision. So, again, this is something that I think Kathleen Kennedy is admitting inadvertently. Or maybe she's even aware of admitting this. It's very hard to tell at this point, but you know what? I think that she's really doing this on purpose. I don't think that this is an accident. I don't think that she is not so knowledgeable in Star Wars. She knows what the fans want. She knows what the fans expect. She knows what the fans are demanding. She just doesn't want to give it. And when you look at the Acolyte series, alright, so far, all we know about it is that it is labeled as a mystery thriller about emerging dark side powers. And it's going to be an ensemble cast. It's going to feature things like Jedi gods and different angles of Star Wars that we have never heard or seen before that sound outlandish to me, at least in my book. I mean, I don't know why they're going to the extreme to do something like this, but one thing I can actually, definitely give out there, with my honest opinion here, is that I really feel that the Acolyte could have been so much more if they just stuck to their guns and really kind of gave it that old Republic nature or spirit, and it could have really jump-started something new and exciting. Kind of like what we saw in the Eclipse trailer. Go ahead and check out the Eclipse trailer. It gives you a better idea of what the High Republic could become. So overall, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know about all this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.